I love buying cheap storage and combing through it in search of treasure. Old software, deleted files, maybe even lost media. This is Archive Dive. Welcome back. We've hit 7,000 subscribers.
8,000. It's 8,000 now.
And 130,000 video views over the last 28 days. I am truly floored by the positive response. Thank you, everyone. Recently, I took a trip into the historic city of Canterbury to meet up with an old friend, and during the trip, we looked in the various charity shops. A few were closed. Everybody hurts. Others have cropped up here and there. One of the more recent shops is the RSPCA charity shop in the King's Mile, just a stone's throw away from Level Up Games, who are worth a visit if you're into retro games or cardboard. In the RSPCA shop, I found this. A Kodak EasyShare DX6490. Produced in 2004, this camera can only take photos in a whopping 4.0 megapixels, but does have true optical zoom instead of that digital rubbish. Depending on who you ask, it's either a fantastic camera valued for the early 2000s digicam aesthetic, or merely a footnote in the history of digital cameras and not worth looking into. For the short time I've been using it, I like it enough, but it hasn't dethroned my Cybershot. The DX6490 was sold to me in a generic low-pro camera bag, and that's it. The battery is included, and currently holds a residual charge, but was sold with no charger, something I'll need to source if I plan to keep this camera, or sell it for that matter. It does, at the very least, still have its original, though partly frayed, camera strap attached. No cables, no leads, but I spotted what I was looking for. An SD card nestled neatly inside the camera's card slot. Hello, nurse. Well, that was that. Accessories missing? Who cares? Generic camera bag? So what? There's an SD card in here. And that means I had to see what was on it. I'm insatiable. But before we go any further, I have to whip out my cock. My code of conduct, obviously. See, a few of you commented recently on the ethical concerns that exist when dealing with data left by previous owners, so I just want to make sure we take a quick glance at my cock and familiarize ourselves with it. 1. Anything taken in a bedroom or intimate setting, I will not show. Any photos matching this description will be shredded, and if found, I will format the SD card afterwards to prevent future recovery. 2. Photos taken in public spaces are fine, but faces and minors must be blurred. And 3. Anything that could be used to identify a person, private company names, phone numbers, license plates, must also be blurred. With that covered, let's take a look at what was on this camera. Oddly enough, there were still plenty of files left on the card, even before data recovery, so no attempt was made to wipe the SD card before selling it. It's a PNY branded 256MB SD card, and filled mostly to the brim with photos and videos. Given the existence of the .trashes folder, it's highly likely this card was at some point inserted into an iPad or iMac. Relating to the camera itself, system data files such as the eShare script and eReview database are present. eShare script allowed the user to upload to places like Twitter and Facebook directly from the camera somehow, probably using this expansion port on the bottom. The eReview script appears to belong to the file browser. Inside it are references to files that once existed on the card, but no longer do. So, the photos. The folder structure indicates this card was used not only in the camera I purchased, but also in an EasyShare M522. A 2011 camera with a 14 megapixel sensor. and when we get to those photos, you will clearly be able to tell the difference. We will go through the photos taken with the older camera first, this one, ending with those taken with the newer camera. Firstly, a folder containing a handful of photos inside a home. A man and woman are sitting on a sofa or settee in soft lighting, and neither seem all that enthused to have their photo taken. I'm getting a, "What are you doing trying to take a photo of me? Put that silly thing away" vibes from these photos. The other folder contains more images and video, some of which I've had to cull. We shall start with some photos taken at the Black Country Living Museum in Dudley. These photos show the Winston Churchill, a 1923 Manning, Wardle & Co. steam engine. The engine was not on show publicly until 2012, but these photos are tagged with 2003 metadata. This is what the camera defaults to when replacing the battery or putting in a new SD card, so I think we can disregard the date and time metadata on this occasion. I'd hazard a guess that these photos were taken after 2013, purely based on a hunch, as parts of the TV series Peaky Blinders was filmed here, having a positive effect on tourism in the area. This photo shows a full-scale working replica of the 1712 Thomas Newcomen engine, which was the world's first commercially successful steam engine. I wonder if this Thomas was a really useful engine. What's super cool is that you can visit the interior on Google Maps in a full 360-degree view. Also taken at the Black Country Living Museum, this photo of a blue double-decker trolley bus, originally used to transport daily commuters. It was retired in 1970, but is still kept in running order to carry visitors between exhibits. The next photo shows a child sliding down a fairground helter-skelter, still in the same rough area as the next two photos show the Nansen II, a historic narrowboat, built in 1951 to haul trains and break ice. Makes sense, as this area was also where the first season of Rosie and Jim was filmed, and I associate the Black Country with canal boats anyway. The next set of photos, I am fairly confident, after a little bit of research, were taken not that far away from the last set. These were definitely taken at Dudley Zoo and Castle. First off, two photos of a penguin exhibit, showing Humboldt penguins in the Penguin Bay attraction. In 2022, an avian malaria outbreak killed roughly 50 of their penguins, so if you're in the area, do pop in and show them some support with rebuilding the colony. Next, two photos of a petting zoo, with African pygmy goats, in an area inspired by the African-style villages they may have become accustomed to. This place looks like fun, after all. Why wouldn't the goat want to hang around other goats? Next up, three photos of a simple creature, the meerkat. This particular photo is adorable, and shows off the DX6490's 10x optical zoom quite nicely. The next set of photos took some effort to track down, but I believe they were taken at the Herne Bay Sci-Fi Family Fun Day, an annual event that takes place at Herne Bay Memorial Park. This is based on visual clues, such as the tops of buildings and the large green, well-maintained space. This photo shows a Judge Dredd cosplayer, pretty neat. Maybe some Doctor Who paraphernalia on the table behind them. Next, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. This is not a person in a suit, but rather an inflatable display, available for hire from a company based in Weston-super-Mare. If you ever need a big Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for some reason, they're your guys. A Darth Vader cosplayer. A cosplayer, you say? A Predator, the sci-fi kind, not the Jared Fogle kind. Dr. Cornelius and Dr. Zira from the Planet of the Apes. A picture of Dix. Hewitt from Jerry Anderson's Terrorhawks. A Hellboy cosplayer with some quite impressive latex prosthetics. And we also have various photos of a large dinosaur, which roamed the event and ate 49 people, including women and children. They never did catch that dinosaur. Next, a set of photos and some video from what I assume to be the Natural History Museum in London, based on the interior and exhibits shown. Several photographs of dinosaur models and remains, extinct animals, a shot of the elusive 26-meter-long Dippy the Diplodocus. Based on the interior, the photo was taken prior to 2017 because that's when Dippy started touring museums all over the place. He's currently in Coventry. Included amongst these photos are 2 video clips of the Tyrannosaurus Rex being animated. Not only is this thing amazing, the darkness and the occasional camera flashes make it all the more formidable. Also on the card are 2 photos of an indeterminable countryside location, possibly a managed property due to the wire fence. Looks like somewhere GeoWizard might have passed through on his Shropshire adventures. Then 2 photos of jewellery hanging from a wire rack, possibly in some kind of shop. Lastly, for the older camera, a photo recovered using data recovery, showing an Advent laptop on its side. Aw, cute doggo just out of frame. I'd wager this is a late 2000s laptop based on its appearance. Do you ever see a device and think, I wonder what's on there? That's me now, a man obsessed. The third and final folder contains photos taken with a newer and more capable camera. But based on the folder name, these were likely taken before the photos in the Black Country Living Museum. Keeping in with the theme of the other photos, the sci-fi and comic book characters, these photos are of sealed comic books. Pictured here are Action Comics 1 through 4, Red Lanterns number 1, and The Red Wing, issues 1 and 2. None of these appear to be particularly rare comics, even today. And graded, they don't sell for obscene amounts of money either. I do wonder the context for why they were photographed, possibly for listing on eBay or something similar. As for the internal memory on this camera, a whopping 16 megabytes, there are unfortunately no images present on it. Because this camera doesn't use a standard file system either, there's no way to access the data directly. So no recovery is possible on the camera's internals, I'm afraid. I did look into that. Overall, a strange set of images to go through. I did find more questionable photos that did not pass community guidelines and my own stringent requirements for inclusion, so I have since wiped the card clean. I'm not sure how much use I can get out of a 256 megabyte card these days, but I may as well keep it with the camera for the time being. That's twice now I've bought a camera, and the included card has been filled with files. Should I keep buying these cameras when I find them cheap? So far, the odds of finding cool things have been pretty good. I just don't need that many cameras though. Might sell them or pass them on to somebody in need of a medium tier consumer grade 2000s camera. A quick shout out to our paid supporters over on Patreon, Mr. Derp, Garlips, Adam Devine, and Gorum Gamer. Thank you for your patronage. As I was saying, the last camera I purchased came with a memory card that the previous owner probably should have wiped before selling. Click here if you want to learn more about that digital dive of debauchery, or check out my gaming content over on the other channel. I've been Escape Route British, you've been watching Archive Dive. Until next time, if we live that long.